Hey guys, I'm Bryson here and welcome to my show, and today we're going to take a look at $100 million property. I mean a home, and if you read the title and the thumbnail also, you know I'm talking about Drake, Arbery, the rapper, the millionaire. But to spend $100 million on a house, it better be fancy. Do I think this is a good investment? The answer is no. But we might as well take a look at it and see exactly why would one person spend so much money on a property of $100 million. And by the way, when this house was actually being built, I met one of the architects while playing basketball, and he told me, Tommy, this house is going to be insane. And here we are to find out exactly how insane it is and how much you can actually get with $100 million. By the way, I post videos on this channel every single day, so make sure to also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And on top of that, also destroy the like button. Without further ado, let's see exactly what $100 million bought Drake. I would have put that money into so much real estate, into so much investments, and that money would have generated so much money for me that I can buy whatever property I want to buy. But you know, YOLO. YOLO. Oh my gosh, so far I saw a basketball court, crazy tubs, a pool.
In 2019, Drake made number 5 on Forbes' list of the richest rappers, and he was the youngest on the list by 10 years.
That's insane, man. He's had a massive success record, been working for like 10 years, and prior to that, he was also working. I always like to see a very good successful story, but I always like to see a successful story that stays successful forever by making the correct investments. I don't want to see any rapper, any like boxer, any like athlete like make so much money and then go broke eventually because basically they bought the wrong property or they spent way too much money in the wrong places.
Toronto-born hip-hop star has found success hard and fast, and he likes to live his life the same way.
You see what he said right there, guys? He said, you know, Toronto, this and that, found success very fast. Drake has been rapping, I follow his music by the way, for like around more than 12 to 13 years. It's not, if that's fast, then I don't know what slow is, you know what I mean? If that's fast, then slow must be like 100 years.
Between jetting off in his private plane, endorsing the Raptors, running OVO, and spoiling his son, Drake...
Okay, by the way, guys, okay, he has like a private jet. In reality, it's a partnership with a whole brand, so it's not really like his private jet. It's very interesting like how the public perception of everything is like, oh, if he has it, he must own it. No. These guys usually have a lot of partnerships.
Drake has found lots of uses for his $150 million net worth. His latest expense is a $100 million custom-designed compound called the Embassy.
Wow, so he has $150 million net worth, according to like Forbes. So you never really know what they hide and what they keep and what they say and what they don't say. But to spend $100 million, if that's like 150 is your net worth, sounds like stupid to me, right? But I doubt that's like his real net worth though. And it's such a hard thing to justify, $100 million house.
Drake's private compound in Bridle Path, Toronto is built to give the superstar some privacy. The rapper even got special permission from the city of Toronto to build the fences around his house twice the legal height. And
oh, that is insane. I think privacy is very important, but he had to get permission from like the council to be like, hey, can I make this like 2 times taller? It's crazy, like, it's crazy how like you need to like get permission just to like do what you want with your property. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that like the craziest like idea like ever? But I guess it's like important because then you know you would have like a whole bunch of ratchety houses, and in reality what you want to make sure like the entire like neighborhood has like a standard, and that way like the value is preserved. I get it.
He also shelled out about $1 million for tall trees to put around the property.
Oh my god, $1 million just for trees. Oh my god, that's insane. Wasn't there like a petition like for trees? Remember that, guys? Like with Mr. Beast, it was like $1 million he was trying to raise, and these was it like $10 million in trees? I don't remember, but the point is $1 million in trees. Like what type of trees are these, right? What type of trees are these? No way I would spend so much money on trees.
It's no wonder that the private neighborhood, which has housed celebrities like Celine Dion and even Prince, is called Millionaires Row.
Oh my gosh, so he actually lives in a private neighborhood. So in reality, it's already a gated community, so it already has security.
But the 50,000 square foot custom mansion isn't meant to just look nice. It's a
50,000 square foot mansion for $100 million. I could probably buy me like a small city or something, bro, like in a third world country. $100 million, 50,000 like square feet, bro. The average like home, maybe like in the US, maybe like 1,500 square feet. So it's like around 50 times that. But also like like way more than I just got an Amber Alert. Okay, you guys want to know what the Amber Alert was? We actually have a curfew now in New York from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. So you can't go outside. Isn't that crazy? It's like we have a curfew in New York, and we also have, guess what? We also have Drake spending $100 million. That's a crazy day for a video, huh? All right, let's keep watching here, guys.
The home has an NBA regulation-sized indoor basketball court, so that Drake and his friends can get in a quick game of ball before they head to his private recording studio.
That's insane, and that is awesome. Like, when I was like growing up, like I always wanted to have like a home with a basketball court, and the closest I got was like one of those like little like things you put in your room with like the little small ball. That's the closest I ever got, you know. But to have like a full NBA regulated size like basketball court in your home, it's insane. It's insane. That's awesome. That's awesome. No, guys, okay. I would not ever recommend anyone do this type of investments. Obviously, like this terrible investments, but he already did it. So the best we can actually do is just look at it and see exactly what happened, and just like be like, okay, cool. But would I do it? The answer is obviously no.
And that's not the only impressive collection Drake has. He has an entire room called the Awards Room, where he displays all of his achievements. And just off of that, he has a hallway devoted to his collection of sports jerseys.
That's insane. So he has like a whole room for his awards and also for like all his collectibles. It sounds it sounds like a pretty awesome home, you know. It sounds like a pretty cool thing. But like all I hear is like liabilities, to be honest with you, right? So like a lot of liabilities. Like this home, like all in all, is probably like the biggest liability he's probably gonna have ever in his life. Like who's gonna actually buy this from him? Especially when it comes to like having such a customizable home, like according to you. When it comes to selling that home, it's gonna be very, very hard. But the jerseys, you can probably retail them for a lot more money, because again, they're also like collectibles and other people actually want to collect them and sell them and resell them. So there's a market for that. So I get that mark.
The Great Room also holds two of the most expensive pieces of decor in the entire house. The first is a Bossendorfer bespoke grand piano.
Why do people always want to buy pianos, man? And why does it have to be like the most expensive one? That's insane. I wonder how much it costs.
Designed by his architect Ferris Raffaelli and Takashi Murakami. In the US, a Bossendorfer can cost anywhere between $756,000 to $560,000.
All right, that's almost like another like house, right? It's another house just for a piano. In reality, the thing about like rappers and also like artists and people that are influencers, in reality, a lot of the things they usually get it like with deals, because people also be like, oh, that's my product in that house. So then in reality, they get more business. So I don't know like what percentage of this stuff is also like, hey, I spent money on this, but in reality, this was actually like a brand deal, whatever it is, you know. But $500,000 or $700,000 on a piano, to me, it sounds like a lot of stupidity. Okay, I'm just being honest here. It's way too much money. However, I get the idea of like, hey, if he has investments to cover all this stuff, I don't mind it. Smart idea. If he doesn't, I think it's stupid.
The second epic piece of decor is a replica of the Metropolitan chandelier. Over 20,000 pieces of hand-cut Swarovski crystal make up the grand chandelier, which is the second largest of its kind in the world. But
that's insane. That's crazy. By the way, like this house, it looks like it looks like a royal palace, right? I don't know if about you guys, okay, but whenever I picture like having like my dream home, I always picture like a modern look to it, like very sleek. This reminds me of like just like a royal like vibe, but kind of like more like old stuff. Might be like with Drake season 2, but for me it's like cool. However, like it's not really my style, right? Like the modern style. However, it probably like was his dream to like live like in a palace. What they call it is an embassy, right? So I get it. What do you guys think? Good, or would you actually want something more modern?
But despite the luxury, Drake would much rather spend his time in his 3,200 square foot master bedroom suite. We know you'd love to kick back in that bed, but just wait until you get a look at the in-suite bedroom.
By the way, 3,200 square feet is easily like maybe like 2 houses or 3 houses easily, and he has that in 1 bedroom. That's crazy.
The centerpiece of the epic bathroom is probably that 4,000-pound tub of black marble. It was carved from one single block of marble, making it one of the most unique pieces in Drake's house. It goes well with the eloquently
black marble. He has like a whole like chair in his bathroom, like a salon or something. That looks crazy.
We haven't gotten a very good look inside this massive closet, but Drake told Architectural Digest that it was designed with raw luxury materials like amethyst, rock crystal, and
I feel like when somebody's gonna spend so much money, this is the thing about like spending a lot of money on something. Whenever you hear, for example, somebody say like, hey, all right, so what's your budget? I usually say like, oh, what's the price? You know, because whenever you talk about budgets, in reality, they're like, okay, so let's try to max out this budget right here. How can we get to spending $100 million in a house? Well, let's bring in the most outrageous things that absolutely nobody needs whatsoever, okay? So far, man, this house is like, it's incredible, like architecturally, but just like for one person and to like spend this much money on a home, if you can afford it, great. If he has assets to pay for it, great. If he doesn't, I think it's stupid.
For some real relaxation, Drake doesn't just sit on his terrace. For some much needed...
By the way, you guys noticed that $100 million, like all the money really went into the house itself, not really like into like buying like a massive property, because in the end, that's not really like a 20, 50 acre property, maybe a 100 acre property. It's still like a small property because again, he's buying it in a very secluded, rich area in a sense, right? But $100 million that can easily get you, I don't even know how many acres, like a lot of acres, you know what I mean? Enough acres to probably make yourself like a whole town and then still have money left to actually build a town and then build a whole ecosystem, okay? It's insane.
Or take a dip in his indoor or outdoor pool. The indoor pool is made of black granite and has a black light, so Drake can change up the room's atmosphere for any occasion.
Yeah, that's insane, man. That's insane. I always wanted like an indoor pool in like my house, and like also like an outdoor pool, until I read about like the only way you can actually get a pool for a very good deal is to buy a house that already has a pool included, because to build a pool is way too expensive, but buying a house for the pool is probably like a better deal.
Atmosphere seems pretty important to Drake, since he also has a high-tech singing toilet outfitted with customizable neon lighting.
Yeah, that's just crazy, man. That toilet must cost like $5,000, maybe like even 10K, because again, you're trying to make a property that's $100 million, so you're gonna get every single thing that costs the most money, even if it's not like the best thing ever.
It's time to go out. Drake has a 10-car garage waiting for him where he stores all of his expensive vehicles, but we'll talk more about his car collection a little bit later.
Wow, a 10-car garage. I used to always be like, oh my god, I want so much cars, until I read about a lot of NBA players going broke because they bought too much cars. Until I read about like, hey, cars lose a ton of its value, so in reality, cars are liabilities. So a lot of things that used to impress me don't impress me that much. I think Drake's investments would probably impress me a lot more than all these things he's actually buying, because that's what I'm into now, you know, making more money.
The star also owns 3 homes in Hidden Hills, California, a luxury neighborhood that's also home to a few of the Kardashians.
Yeah, man, I don't understand like the upkeep when it comes to like owning one of these homes, you know. I read his 50 Cents book, and he talks about like having like a home that the one he bought like in I think it was like in Connecticut, and it was like 40 something bedrooms, something like that. And the idea is that home costs him around $40,000 every single month just in upkeep. So imagine having a home this much. Imagine electricity, the water bill with all those pools. Imagine all of that cost, right? So when the money starts flowing in with like all this rapping and the albums, like what does he do next? Okay, has to have some very, very good investments, okay, to manage like a $50,000, $100,000 a month like upkeep at a house. It's insane, right?
The first is a $4.5 million, 2,449 square foot ranch. Drake bought the 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathrooms property.
2-bedroom. You hear that? $4.5 million for 2-bedroom. Can you hear that? Again, like all you're really buying is that location. Okay, I get the location thing, but it's so crazy to me.
In 2012, he bought a $7.7 million home nearby, and then a 1950s style ranch for $2.8 million.
Oh my gosh. So he has like so much real estate. I think a lot of people usually think like whenever they're buying these massive homes, they think they're making like a good investments. But in reality, the average person that can buy those is a very small group of people. And the profits you can actually get is also dependable highly on the economy, right? And usually they don't really have enough cash flow coming in to actually, for example, make that home justifiable. So usually it's a negative on the balance sheet to it actually taking money from your pockets every single month. So unless like these properties like give him money every single month, I'm mad about it. Let's be honest, right? But 3 properties, I'm thinking like over like $120 million so far, just like in properties. It's insane.
Calls this one the YOLO estate. The pride and joy of this trio of properties is the $7.7 million home that Drake bought because it reminded him of the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah, that's crazy. But let's be honest though, that's a pretty cool home, right? I don't get it though. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I do not get it.
It's because of this epic pool, complete with a waterfall and a grotto.
Oh, I actually read about this purchase Drake actually made, And in reality, it turns out that this pool right here in this house, he actually had it as a screensaver in like his computer, like when he actually first started rapping. So it's like, you know, like all about the attraction and trying to get a lifestyle. I don't get it. I don't get it.
The home also has tons of activities, like a home gym, tennis court, movie theater, and game room. Dad, his favorite mode of transportation is 67.
Alright guys, so that is about it for this video. I think I've seen enough, and plus the video's gonna be too long if I keep talking about Drake. But the overall, and then you also see like this private jet thing, but it's also with the partnerships. In reality, he didn't really pay for it. But overall, guys, what do I think about Drake spending $100 million on a property? Okay, here's my answer. I don't care what you buy as long as you can actually have investments to cover that. And I don't care what you buy as long as it's like 1/3 of the income you actually bring in, because that way you're also covered. However, buying so much things just based on like, hey, I like this property because it looks like a Playboy mansion. I built this mansion here for $100 million just because, you know, the answer is I think it's excessive. I don't think it's necessary. But if he wants it, he can have it as long as he has investments to keep up with all of those expenses and liabilities. Because let's be honest, okay? I can make, for example, $100 million this year, but next year, you never know what's going to happen. So you want to make sure, for example, you put all of that money to work. And then eventually, for example, guys, okay? If Drake has $100 million to spend, let's pretend here. I don't even think my calculator just put that in here, okay? If Drake has $100 million to spend, and he gets, for example, a 10% return on that money, well, that's around $10 million every single year, right? Divided by 12, well, that's around, divided by 12, that's around like $833,000 every single month also. So he could probably just buy whatever he wants to buy with this money also by just investing that money and actually going out there and actually, for example, just like making money and making his money work for him. But it sounds like to me, out of this video right here, I couldn't even watch the whole thing. It sounds to me just like it sounds to me like a crazy dumb idea to buy all these things that don't make any sense financially. Unless he has investments, but again, I doubt that. Because in reality, most of the time, their investments are into real estate that usually is overpriced, and also into customizable things that usually is also overpriced. And also investments in yourself, I get that, but in actuality, as things keep developing, in reality, those investments are going to depreciate. So I want you to invest into things that actually appreciate with value, and that way you can justify all of these expenses. But overall, Drake is a great artist. He earns a lot of money. Okay, and obviously, he is where he is today because of all the decisions he actually made. But just because you're a good rapper or musician doesn't mean you are a good at finances. So it's always good to have someone on your side that helps you reach your financial goals. Okay, that's my opinion here, guys. But comment down below and let me know if you had $100 million or maybe even like $150 million. Would you spend so much money on this? Okay, comment down below. Let me know. And as always, if you enjoyed the video here, guys, well, like this video. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And follow me on Instagram, Bryson. And before I go, if you want to watch another video, okay, on how Dwayne Wade actually spends his money, it's like the opposite of Drake, to be honest with you. Watch this video right here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. And as always, peace.